Two Beards Reviews, back for another week, reviewing the Paul Mullin book. Let's go. Woo! Oh, welcome to Two Beards Reviews, Sheila's fuckheads, big brother and all around legends. How are you? We are going to be reviewing today the Paul Mullin My Wrexham Story, his latest book that's just come out. Adrian, mate,
Back again.
how
Back
did you
again.
consume this great content from the great Lord Paul Mullin?
Well, I'd actually ordered it from the UK Amazon because it wasn't Aussie. It wasn't on Aussie Amazon at the time. It is now, but when it was pre-order, it wasn't. But a mate of mine named Chris Rouse sent me a link for Audible, and he's like, "Bro, it's on Audible already. You can just listen to it." So what did I do? I signed up for the free trial at Audible. We're not sponsored, by the way, so I'm mentioning it. If you want to sponsor us, Audible, feel free. But we did that, and honestly, it was the best way to consume it. And then when I think it was about a day before I finished listening, the book arrived. so so honestly, it was amazing.
And how are you gonna cope reading the book back? I bet you're going to be reading it with Paul Mullin's voice in your head now.
Well, when you were in school and like you'd get to like read along with a narrator, someone was already doing it. You read along as a group. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to play it again and then be like, "Yes, Mr. Paul Mullin, read us a bedtime story." So that's how I'm going to do it. But mate, it was epic. How did you consume it? And obviously, what did you think? And obviously, we're going to cover what is covered in it. But initial thoughts on how you consumed it. How was his voice?
So I obviously consumed it through Audible as well. It was my first audio book I've ever bought.
No way.
Let's just say it was really, really great. But just to preface this, guys, you want to watch this whole episode because at the end of this episode, we're doing a giveaway.
Shit.
All right. And the giveaway involves Paul Mullin, the Paul Mullin book, the hardcover, right? It's Always Sunny in Wrexham.
Hold on. I'm trying to be product placement. Always Sunny. Shout out Andrew Foley.
And a new Wrexham book as well called Out of the Frying Pan into the Flicks, which is all about Wrexham as well. So we're going to be doing this giveaway. You get a chance to win all three books as a package. There'll be a code word in this video which we will announce. You need to watch the whole video to get the code word.
That's where they get you.
Yep. Hit subscribe, hit like, and comment down below. Done. And you'll see. We'll talk about that one a little bit later. But anyway, first of all, so I listened to the book on Audible. And I just got the impression that that's a champion's mindset. From someone who's come from an elite sporting background myself, I can honestly say that is the quintessential champion's mindset, exactly what he thinks. Although it was interesting to hear how high he values his son over football. And he would go out of his way, I felt, to mention that a fair bit. And obviously his son Albie popped up a lot in this book.
I think it was fair. I think the best part about it, and I think the reason he's brought it up, not only because he loves his son so much, and he mentions a lot, he doesn't really care what other people think. But a lot of people, when he, and it's mentioned in the book, when he left Cambridge to come to Wrexham, a lot of people thought it was a last minute deal. A lot of people thought, it was done out of money or, the doco. He didn't even know the doco existed until he arrived at the club.
Yeah,
Second of all,
interesting.
That was huge. But second of all, is he wanted to be closer to Albie. And I think he really wanted to stipulate that he would drop football in a heartbeat if that meant that it would make his son happy. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I have a massive respect for that. I don't have kids of my own. But I know you do, Rousey, and I see the love that you give. I see the love my parents gave me when I was growing up. I get where that comes from. So I think it was meant to happen and it needed to happen for a lot of those people who didn't really get closure, maybe at Cambridge or maybe even at the other clubs he was at, e.g.
What I really liked about this is it really captured everything. So it captured his journey from a kid, obviously growing up, going through the Liverpool system and the academy system, and then obviously touch base on his time at clubs like Tranmere, where he got treated like shit.
And
That
Swindon.
coach is a fucking dumbass.
Mickey,
Numpty of
yeah.
the week goes to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just good to see how there was mention of that. Then there was obviously a lot of mention around his family life and what that means to him. And then there was also mention about being part of Wrexham, part of that promotion push. And a lot of it included, right up until the Las Vegas trip, which is rather, I'm glad, like he put absolutely everything right up into promotion into that book. And I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed that. Like it was a really good listen. Good to put on the way to work and on the way home from work and just listen to the smooth tunes of our sweet Lord Paul Mullin.
And you know what? I think everyone agrees with it. Like, obviously we've listened to it, we've read it, however you've consumed it, and there will be viewers out there who
Wanked to
maybe,
it.
yeah, who went to it, but like, yeah, for sure. But like, I think the big one is there's going to be people who are from those older clubs who might go, why should I read about it? About how poorly he thinks of my club because of XYZ. I think I really respected the way Mullin handled a lot of those stories too, because there were a couple of individuals he mentioned he didn't agree with, but he always finished saying, but that's my opinion. That doesn't mean it doesn't work for everyone else. It just didn't work for me. And he'd always say it was never the club's problem. It was never the club, the fans themselves. He never brought up a story that said that, which I really thought was just a testament to the man that he is, because easily you could read into that and go, oh, he thinks Tranmere is shit. Oh, he thinks Swindon's shit. Well, no, he said, it wasn't what he wanted, and it's not the way he would have liked to have been treated. So it's interesting to see that. So. And I can see Rousey getting up his notes. So what I'd love to ask him, to put him on the spot, is if you were to add something that maybe wasn't in the book that you may have wanted to hear about, is there something that you're like that wasn't covered, or do you think it was pretty well versed? Obviously, it was really well rounded, but was there something maybe Wrexham related, maybe not Wrexham related, that you did want to hear about?
You know what? It was very well rounded. I honestly can't think of anything else that I would want from that book. It
Fair.
gave us everything. Gave us a great insight into how tough it is in the English football system, how hard it is to succeed. It really nailed that home. It nailed home how, of his son Albie, his diagnosis. It nailed home all about his time at Wrexham. It gave us stuff that we didn't know already. And you got to think that he did that book all the way up until promotion season, even as far as the Las Vegas trip, and talking about his punctured lung and 4 broken ribs. It was just all in there. It was everything you could want from his story, because we've sat there, we've watched him, we've watched all this unfold, but now we get to see it from his perspective. And I really, really appreciated that.
Yeah.
It was
and
really
I like that you mentioned that. Sorry, just to interject. You make a very good point, which was, it is nice to see those behind the scenes moments. And for those of us who are new, we did a review on the Welcome to Wrexham series, the latest season, season 2, and you can watch that on our YouTube. But what I loved about this book or audiobook or however you consumed it, it kind of answered what I wanted in the doco. Like, I wanted to see Las Vegas. I wanted to see what happened, post the celebrations, during the promotion push. And I think Paul gave us that. And you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, because you can have filmmakers make whatever you want, but they can shape it in the narrative that they'd like, right? And that's not a disrespect at all, because I loved Welcome to Wrexham. It's my favorite series, my favorite show of all time. But when you've got the, coming from the horse's mouth or in our words, in our God's mouth, Paul Mullin, that's huge. So for us to get it from his perspective was awesome. So I really highly rated that. I'm with you. Well versatile. I loved hearing about his siblings, about his sister being a big impact, even now with his son, Greg, his older brother, Jonathan, I think it's Jonathan, that I didn't know much about personally, because I knew Greg because of Twitter, and I pretty much, I thought that was his only
Well,
siblings.
I think what was really good, like with how it brought all that family life together, was how it touched on his mentality. So obviously he has that champion mindset of, always wanting to strive to be better, wanting to be the number one person on the field, all that sort of stuff. But at the same time, there's that juxtaposition of he would give all that up in a minute for his son, which I found was really, really a nice little touch. And honestly, great read. I highly, highly recommend this. Whether you want to read it or listen to it on an audio book, definitely go out and get it. And look, I think my rating for this book, I can't really fault it. Obviously he's not a well-known author or anything like that, but he was fairly well spoken and touched a lot of points. And I think I give this book a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, mate. Look, you're literally telepathy with me and you. It's literally a same vibe. I went into this going, whatever else he says, I don't care. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10, because, he isn't an author, but he came out and honestly blew me away in the way how well spoken he is. He's admitted that school wasn't his forte. He still finished his GCSEs, but he still, he didn't go into uni to go, study literature or anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, for someone to come out like that, and of course, I'm sure he's had help with the publishers and things like that, but it takes a lot to be so well spoken in an audio book as well. He was just excellent and emotive as well. Paul Mullin can sometimes come across quite monotone, and quite, the same. You hear him every time. So to hear the different ups and downs in his inflection was really cool. So honestly, 9 out of 10, but I'm just going to say a massive recommendation to the audiobook. Yes, the physical book is amazing, but audiobook just adds an extra dimension. So I'm going to listen to it again, but I'm actually going to read it along with the book as well.
Oh, look, if we were going to judge it just on the audiobook, I would give the audiobook a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because it's got that Paul Mullin edge of him reading the book to
you.
But overall, if I'm judging the book on its content as a whole, I'm with you on that 9 out of 10. Now we have to talk about our giveaway.
Woo.
The guys, pay close attention to this. We are giving away Paul Mullin's book, My Wrexham Story. We're giving away Out of the Frying Pan into the Flicks, and we are going to give away It's Always Sunny in Wrexham. So all at once. If you want to get in on this, okay, if you want to get
the book,
yes, we are giving it away.
The holy book,
completely free. So if you want this, all you have to do, so pay close attention, right? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit on whatever we post up on X, on Facebook, on YouTube. Comment down below done, or comment on our social media post done that you've subscribed to our channel. But then you also need to listen out for this code word, because if you win, we are going to be asking you what the code word is. The code word is down below, promotion. So that's your code word, promotion. So guys,
I thought you were going to go with a swear word, just like fuck.
No, be clean with this one. So guys, subscribe to the channel, comment down below on this video that you've subscribed and say done, and you've got the code word ready to go. All right. And then we will contact the winner next week on next week's podcast. We will do the draw. And we will obviously then contact the winner and ask them what the code word is. If they've got the code word, they get all 3 books.
Done,
So
mate.
there's our giveaway. Look
Fucking
out
love it.
on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and X for the post as well, because you can also comment there that you've done it as well. But we would like you to comment on the YouTube video preference.
Yeah, boy.
Okay, so that's our giveaway. Our very, very first giveaway is 2 beards. So this is going to be really interesting. So let's see if we can get some traction on this. And Adrian, mate, it's what a pleasure.
I'm excited for what's to come, mate.
Yep. So good luck to those that want to enter our giveaway. And we will see you guys next week on the 2 Beards podcast. Bye.